Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's video. In here we're talking about the process of being funded or getting funded based on my experience, and not only my experience regarding funded programs, right, but also my experience in the forex market, and well, basically a couple of things that I'd like to mention regarding everything that is surrounding funding a funding program, right? The first thing that we'll talk about is what to do before buying a challenge, which in my opinion is one of the most important things to do, because passing a challenge I think is actually easy. The only problem is actually getting to the point where you should buy a challenge, right? Not before, not after, but the right moment, right? I've shown that this exact strategy that I teach in the lower time frames is applicable to any time frame. You could trade in the daily chart, you could trade in the 4 hour based on the 15 minutes. There's tons of things that you can do with the strategy that I trade in the lower time frames, such as the 1 minute. You can apply it on the 15, you can apply it in any time frame, right? That's first the strategy, and now we go to consistency. So paying a challenge after 2 weeks of consistency isn't good enough. You don't know how you'll behave under pressure. You don't know if price was just gentle between quotes with you, because there has been times where, as an example, there has been weeks or maybe a couple of days that price action was just really clear. As an example, today's trade, yesterday's trade. I think Tuesday had a really clean trade as well. Monday had a really clean trade as well. This week has been wonderful, right? So having a good week, having a good couple of days doesn't really mean that you already know how to use this strategy, or that you have mastered the strategy. Here's my story. I think this year I wasted somewhere around $400 on challenges. Trees as I was not really that smart. That's when I actually changed to, well, the current strategy that I have. So that $9,200 account, I had 1 week to get back up to break even. And in that week I had all the way up to Friday, right? And I started really well. I had $9,200 in that account, and I had to get it back to 10K so I could ask for the retry, right? And so I said, I need 6R. That is all. First of all, you have the need to get to that target, right? So in your head, you're going to force trades by nature. This drawing. This drawing basically shows you the time you have, right? The time you have to complete a challenge and the amount you have to fulfill. So you can encounter hundreds of scenarios, but there are some that I can help you with based on experience. I believe you should know how to handle these very specific situations that we'll go through, right? So the first will be, let's suppose you, let me actually make this a little bit thicker so it looks better. Let's suppose you start your challenge, right? And the first trade is a loss. We can try as hard as we want to not get losses. I have realized that there are ways you can avoid taking losses on a pretty good way, and by pretty good way I mean you are just looking for the most confluences you can find, or waiting for price to get to the most important areas possible. And that's honestly the best way you can do, the best thing that you can do to avoid losses. But even if we wait for hundreds of confluences before a trade, stop that. 100 for confluences before you take a trade, you are still going to take losses, because it's just how the market works. Honestly, at each step of the challenge, you should be looking at your trades and realizing what are the mistakes that you're making in each loss, and what are the things that you're doing right on each win. Right? That's first of all. This is not only on challenges, this is everywhere. You have to do that every time that you take a trade. You have profit. But basically, this could have been easily a target. Maybe the next trade would have been a trade to take profit and would have passed the challenge. Definitely possible. But it's preferable to be careful. Instead of losing your account, just take some time, analyze if you're actually trading well, or you just either got lucky or price action was really clear. Just make sure that you're good to go before you continue to trade, right? Because at this point you've gotten yourself another opportunity, a second opportunity. You need 16R to achieve this, right? You need 16R, so 3 trades at 5R, well, 2 trades at 5R and 1 at 6, right? So it's really not that hard. And with this strategy like this that has higher risk to reward ratios, I mean, in here, how much did this one take? 7.58R in 40 minutes. Yesterday was 15R in 40 minutes. 10 losses, a 5% loss here, right? If you were doing the analysis in each of these trades, then at the 10th trade you realize, okay, I've been taking losses, so let's see when did I begin taking losses. Here, okay, what did I do wrong here? I took when there was no liquidity available. I took risk entry. Okay, so that's something. Let's see what I did on this one. On this one, liquidity was missing, but I did take a CE. On this one, liquidity was missing, and I took a risk entry. What is it that you're realizing with just 3 trades? With just 3 trades, that you're missing out on liquidity and you're taking risk entries. Then you continue to analyze that, and what you realize is that this was a risk entry, this was a risk entry, this was a confirmation entry with no liquidity, this was a risk entry, right? You're realizing that your common mistake is taking risk entries, right? What you do in this week and a half that you have, well, you have 2 weeks and a half, right? But this week and a half, week 2 and 3 should be used entirely to trade in demo, entirely trying to realize what you were taking losses, and what were that 1 or 2 wins that you took, and how can you improve. So what did I do? I took the risk entry with the demo. In the demo, I tend to be a little bit more aggressive and look at how it is. 35% profit. Of course, in this one I risked a 2%, so I got a 20% there out of nowhere. Look at how many losses I've taken. Look at how many losses. I risk a 1% here. I don't know why it's 140 there. I risk a 1% on this account. 1% is not something that I want to risk in a challenge account. It's just, I don't care, because I waited for the confluences. I waited for the 3 basic steps, if you want to say it that way. How hard is that? I think the hard thing is to spot this, to consider this an important area, because there's liquidity up here, say. Oh, what you could do is create a gap. A gap is basically, as an example, start with 0.25% and gain a 2.5% profit. And then you change to 0.5%, and you at that point you need a 5.5%, 5.5%, which is 11R. This is 2 trades basically, if I want to be honest, 2 or 3 trades. I like to log into the other one because the other one has a really good example. Look at how many losses I've taken. Let's even delete this trade, right? Let's take away this trade. Let's suppose this trade didn't exist. This 21% gain doesn't exist because I risked a 2%. I risked a 2% on this one because I really liked the trade and the trade worked out wonderfully. Let's suppose that 2% gain didn't exist. 21%, yes. My account will be at 1100. Well, here, 1100,462. That means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses. 7 losses I took are still, and I'm still at 14%, 14.6% profit. Challenges are easy to pass, but you need to be prepared. If you're not prepared, you're just going to lose your money. So instead of risking it and say, you know what, I've been having 5 good trades. I've been analyzing well. I've been very patient. I've been doing everything all right. I haven't taken a loss, or I have taken only 2 losses compared to 10 wins. I'm gonna go for it. I suppose you did that in a week. In my opinion, I could tell you, if you asked me, I could tell you that could have been luck. It could have been you being really good at it, definitely. The fact that you get 10 wins your first week is not something bad. It's not that you're being lucky. Maybe you are applying everything correctly. Maybe you are doing everything as you're supposed to, and you are ready for the challenge. But I would still recommend you to go a couple of more weeks. But I think that if you follow the steps that I've given you, I don't think there's a way for you to fail that challenge. But well, I can't make that promise. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you took something away from it. And I'll be seeing you onto the next one. Hello everyone, so a small voiceover that I wanted to add here. I'm editing the video, finally finishing, and I'll leave you with a couple of screenshots or videos in the background. So what I wanted to add here is 2 things. First of all, this is a short video of content that is shared in the full video, right? So everything that is shown here is just subtracted from the big video, which is 1 hour and 30 long. And in here I just explain basically every aspect that I believe is really important to keep in mind and remember at all times when it comes to getting a funded account, and going through the process, before the process, and going through the process, and a little bit of about the aftermath per se, so the time you actually get funded. So I think this is a really good video. I know I made it, so I have to say that, but I do truly believe that this is a wonderful video that contains a lot of information, and it also has a lot of value due to my experience. My experience is failing challenges over and over through a whole year. 2021 has been for me a year where I've taken many challenges and I failed many, only succeeded once, but we all know what happened with Funding Talent. And now I'm currently in one and it's going really well, which I'm really happy about. So that's thing one, right? Of course, this is such a wonderful video and took so much time. I decided to not only share it with my students but with everyone, but of course for a small price, because my students have paid for this content and I can't just gift it away, right? So all that information is going to be in the description. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that videos like this, or videos like the one you saw, and the ones you'll see today, because I want to upload a video going over to this price section. All the videos that I've shared recently and the videos that I used to share are now shared through the Discord community. There are dozens of videos, hours and hours, filled with content and material of me either explaining trades, live trading, explaining why this happened, explaining concepts, answering questions, and of course you have access to a Discord where you have me and dozens of students that basically are in the exact same place as you. You're trying to learn how to become profitable in market and everything, and you have me in literally the touch of a message, right? I'm really that close. You can ask me anything and I will be there to answer. And in some cases I will take some more time. In some cases I believe that's an important subject that I've maybe forgotten about and didn't never talk about it, so I decided to make a video. But basically what I'm trying to tell you is that you have the opportunity here of either just buying this video. If you don't want to be part of the community, that's fine. But I would totally recommend being part of the community. I think it has a lot of value, not only in content, but in the support from everyone, and being able to talk to someone that, supposedly has a better profitability than you, because I'm not as profitable as I wish to, but I do have quite a profitability recently that I'm very happy about that. But I of course intend to continue to improve. And just wanted to add this. Yeah, I just wanted to add this, that the community is something that is not something you should miss out on, and the price is going up by the minute. So I would take advantage of it while it's still cheap, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you take something away from it, and I hope to see you inside. Goodbye.